and Brad here. Welcome to the Manitoba Football Show, your source for all things amateur football in the province of Manitoba. Brad, we got a loaded show here today.
Absolutely. First show, and we're coming out guns a-blazing. We're going to start things off by talking some women's football with the Western Women's Canadian Football League. They got some news because their season just finished yesterday.
Directly related to that, in the second quarter, we'll be chatting with Lisa Cummins, the general manager of the Manitoba Fearless, who also compete in the Western Canadians Women's Tackle Football League. They're coming off a strong showing this season as well. We'll also discuss the Manitoba Girls Football Association, which Cummins helped found in 2011.
Exciting stuff. Directly after the halftime, we're going to get into some big heavy hitters over with high school football. We've got the commissioner, big boss of the hot sauce, Rick Hankowicz. He's going to be talking realignment of some of the divisions, and to help him along with it, Sean Esselmont will be helping us along with that as well.
Finishing off strong in the fourth quarter, Brad, we'll have Ryan Carhut, the new head coach of Team Manitoba's Under-18 program, which will take to Calgary from July 15th to 22nd, looking to bring home some hardware for Team Toba.
Haven't done that in some time, but if anyone's going to lead them the way, it's going to be Carhut. That's coming up after the break. Let's hit some commercials.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind, with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located...
Yesterday, the Regina Riot capped off another strong season of women's tackle football in Western Canada, winning the league title over five-time champs, the Saskatoon Valkyries. Now, Brad, the real story here is the fact that in the lead-up to the game, the Regina Riot's van, the team van, was stolen with their valuables in it, their jerseys, many different things. But the community really rallied around the Riot and helped support them. One of the players even set up a GoFundMe page. Really speaks to the culture and the community, not just in the men's tackle football league, but in the women's tackle football league and in the football community in general.
Absolutely. Hey, when things get tough, the football community, the tough get going. And it's no surprise to me that when a tragedy like this would happen, that the football community would come together and whether it be donating protective equipment, GoFundMe, with the donations that were coming in and flooding in from that, doesn't surprise me whatsoever that the football community was able to go arm in arm and make something special happen.
Speaking of community, another team in the league is the Manitoba Fearless. And after the break, we'll have Team General Manager Lisa Cummins on the show, discussing their season as well as another venture of hers, the Manitoba Girls Football Association. Stay tuned. Very pertinent to the conversation. We're back for the second quarter of the Manitoba Football Show, and we've got Lisa Cummins here with us. Lisa has been a driving force within the women's tackle football community for over a decade. She was part of the Manitoba Fearless Women's Tackle Football Team formed in 2007 and also helped create the Western Women's Canadian Football League in 2009. Her most recent venture was in 2011 when she helped co-found the Manitoba Girls Football Association. Lisa, thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
You've been super influential within the women's tackle football community here in Manitoba, and I want to get into the formation of that in a little bit, but let's just start off first with the Winnipeg Wolfpack season. You're the general manager of that team, and you guys had a strong year this year. Manitoba Fearless. There are two teams in Western Women's, and I got them confused. Anyhow, Manitoba Fearless, coming off a strong season, just talk to me a little bit about how things went for you guys this year.
This season was a great start to our rebuild. We've been around for quite some time, and at the start of women's tackle football, it was all about going out, having fun, just kind of learning the game. And when the league started, there was a lot of athletes in Saskatchewan, which really started pushing the rest of the league to bring themselves up to the same level. And our players demanded that we bring ourselves up to the next level. So with retention that we've had over the last couple of years, the players are getting better. Their off-season training programs, they're making sure they're preparing just the same as the guys do in the off-season in order to put their best foot on the field. And this year it really paid off for us.
Yeah, you had a close game against Saskatoon, who've been a perennial favorite since the league formed. So talk to me a little bit just about that game in and of itself, the emotions on the sideline, and just how the game went.
It was a real tough loss for us. We worked really hard this year to push the players. They've pushed us as staff as well to really bring us to that next level. And it was very emotional because we were so close. We haven't been that close to any of the rest of the teams in the prairies, well, in Saskatchewan, for many years. So although it was sad that we lost, we came out still feeling good that we know we're in the right direction. We're taking the right steps to get where we need to be so that next year we can be part of that championship game.
Here's to hoping that 2019 is successful, absolutely, for both the Fearless as well as the Wolfpack in the Western Canadian Women's Football League. Transitioning now to the Manitoba Girls Football Association. Just talk to me a little bit about the historical importance of that league and what went into its creation.
Well, actually, that all came out of being part of the Fearless. Tanis Wilson, she was the founder of the Manitoba Fearless, and when I started playing with her, we became really good friends, and we joked about how we always wanted to play when we were little kids. Our parents, no, right? Even though her dad was big into football, and still, you can't play tackle football. Same in my house. So we decided that we were going to give it a try. If we put it out there to the girls, there's lots of girls that play in the WWCFL. Why wouldn't girls want to have an opportunity to play when they're younger? As well, some do play with the MMFA, but parents are more likely to allow them to play against girls. So you're playing against the same level, right? So we decided just to give it a shot, and we reached out to a couple of clubs, 3 to start with, and put together 40 players and had 3 teams. And from ages, I believe it was 9 to 13 that year, and they had a blast. And just from there, it just kept growing. As soon as everybody heard that it was starting, more clubs were coming to us asking if they could put in a team, and then slowly just built from there to now we're even last year the Mustangs had 2 teams in their senior division. This year they're back down to 1, but still it's just growing every year. We're that one small part of football that seems to be tackle football that's growing and growing because girls do want to play.
Absolutely, they want to play. Let's talk a little bit about that growth, because when a league goes from 3 teams all the way up to 11, basically almost 4 times what it originally was, what do you mostly attribute that growth to, and cultivating that new talent year after year?
Well, it really comes down to the players having fun. Those first few years, the wins, the losses, we had teams that didn't win for years. My daughter with the Nomads, when we had started up, they had a little bit of success at junior, senior, did not for 5 years. They didn't win 1 game, but they had fun when they were out there. They met girls that had the same interests as them. And there's a lot of girls that do have that interest when the opportunity's been given to them, as well as the dads. The dads that are coming out to help coach. There's a lot of female coaches, But those dads who just had daughters, they're so excited, these old football guys, right? So excited. They thought they'd never get to coach their kids at football. So now they have that opportunity to coach their little girls, and we just made it as much fun as we could. It is now turning into more competitive, which is great too, because these young girls are going to be transitioning up as well. So we like to see them have as much fun as they can to get the love of the game before anything else.
Absolutely, and on top of that, given the opportunity for those ladies to get all of those great life lessons that the sport of football can teach, and that's now spread across the board. Both men and women can enjoy that.
Absolutely, and for girls, such a big thing is self-confidence and being proud of who you are. And football is the sport that you can be any size and you can be productive and a star on the team. You can't do that in swimming, you can't do that in gymnastics, but you've got lineman girls who feel confident no matter what because they are actually productive on the field, and it's wonderful to see them. It's wonderful to see the confidence that grows from them.
Definitely, there's a spot for them. They're able to cultivate those skills and also be part of that team, which is so important. So since the inception of this league, other leagues have popped up all over the place, whether it be the Maritimes, United States, you name it. Every single time that happens, they seem to pick up one recipe or one playbook, if you will, and it's your recipe, it's your playbook, and they're using that as their kind of streamline to become successful. What does that mean to you?
It's absolutely wonderful. Back in 2013, I believe, we did head down to the what is it called now? The American League, sorry, my mind just went blank there. We did go down to their championship, and we did a showcase. We brought down 2 teams of our own players and played against each other to showcase them that little girls do want the opportunity if it's provided. And they quickly jumped, and they were calling us and asking us about it. And it's been great. And even now, they're just popping up all over the place. We keep hearing it. There's got to be at least 6 leagues now down in the U.S. as well in Saskatchewan. There's been teams popping up in Saskatchewan, and just more growth means more opportunities for these girls to play outside of their league, which we'd love to see it grow to the point where there's Canada Cup for the girls.
Absolutely. They're always looking for things. All right, now it's time for me to get back to grilling you about some specific schools, and I think you're pretty comfortable with that, but this is on a positive note. Lorette and Murdoch McKay come back into the league, bringing us back from 29 teams up to 31. How important is it to see those 2 programs coming back after having some time away?
It's very important. It brings the stability back to the league. When they left, it exposed some cracks that we had. So we worked hard to fix that foundation, get them back in. Murdoch came back in, and Lorette both came back in as 9-man JV teams, just to rebuild that foundation. But it's more important because Murdoch is the only school up in the Transcona area and the only football in Transcona. Transcona no longer has a midget program, so it's huge to the kids out in that area. In terms of Lorette, they're the only total French immersion school that's in our league, and we've had conversations with a lot of people from the Franco-Manitoban school division about why can't we do this, why can't we do that. Well, we have a school with a small population base that's there. So if they can do it, they're showing others that it can be done. One of the beauties of what they've done, and also with Murdoch and some of the JV programs now, is we've created that 9-man JV program. And quite honestly, we were looking at a 9-man varsity program. So that's where some of these schools now will fit in, and it won't tax what we've got. It fits within the system. It doesn't expose kids to being tired on the field or a shortage of players or anything like that. It just keeps everything on an equal footing.
Absolutely. The baby steps to progressing a program to where they can hold on to a 12-man team and be successful with that and climb the ladder the way that the Eagles did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Just quickly, I really want to emphasize just how important the JV programs are at a lot of schools, the development that you get from that age. Sisler is a great example of a school that does that, and there are many others, just sort of cultivating those players, and the community ranks as well, of course, Rick, as you know, many St. Vitals of the world, the Transconas, and all those different teams really helping out to bring those players to the high school football league eventually. Rick and Sean, I really thank you both for your time on this program. Much appreciated.
Our pleasure.
I'm sure we'll have you both on again many times this year as we discuss different things and once the season is in full-fledged mode. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, Derek here at Adventure Power Products, and summer's here. Motorcycle season is on us and we're ready to roll. If you're considering a new motorcycle this season, we want you to stop and check out Adventure Power Products and give us an opportunity to earn your business. We have 3 great motorcycle lines for you to choose from, and they're all here, all under one roof for you to check out. We've got great programs from our manufacturers this season. We've got the Kawasaki financing as low as 0% OAC. We've got Suzuki's up to 5 years of extended warranty programs. And of course, our new Moto Guzzi line. This is where art meets technology. If you haven't checked out the line, you've got to come by and see us firsthand to see and appreciate how beautiful these bikes are. Coming in to see Adventure, remember, when you're buying your bike from us, you've got a dealership that is MPI certified for all of your safety needs as well as insurance claims. We also have our technicians that are fully certified in all the lines that we carry, so you know you're going to be in good hands. You want to come down and take a look at a bike while you're getting your bike in for service. We have the Capital Coffee Lounge. Come sit and relax, enjoy the Wi-Fi, our vintage motorcycles here on display, magazines to read. We've got you looked after so you can enjoy your stay while you're getting your oil changed or what have you. We've got you looked after. And remember folks, first-time riders, remember to check out our setup at Safety Services when you're taking your beginner course. We have special discounts for first-time riders. Picking up your new bike, nervous about taking it on the road? We'll look after that too. We'll deliver your bike to your house at no charge with anywhere within the city limits. Remember, we're only 7 minutes outside the perimeter, 4-lane highway, quick drive. We'll get you looked after. We'll get your bike delivered to your garage so you can start at your pace and be comfortable on that new motorcycle. And remember folks, we are Kawasaki's only full-line motorcycle dealer in Manitoba, and we are Suzuki's #1 motorcycle dealer in Manitoba. Come check us out, Derek at Adventure Power Products, 204-878-3194, or again, adventurepowerproducts.com. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Rick Funk from Funk's Toyota. Our family has been in the automotive business for over 45 years. That's 45 plus years of looking after customers. We have a top worldwide recognized product that we are proud to be a partner with Toyota Canada. Every new and used vehicle is negotiable when it comes to purchasing your vehicle here at Funk's Toyota. Our staff of many years is very knowledgeable and will help you, not force you with your buying decision. There are no hidden fees and no pressure tactics. Not only that, we promise what we deliver and have one of the best used vehicle warranties in the business. Our staff love to serve, and you will feel like family after your first visit. We are not perfect, but we love to please here at Funk's Toyota. For those of you that have experienced our Funk's Toyota family way, please share it with others and like us and share us on Facebook. We are proud to be a sponsor of the Manitoba Amateur.
We're into the fourth quarter of our show, and I can think of no other man that thrives better in clutch situations than Ryan Carhart. As a player, he won a Vanier Cup with the Manitoba Bisons in 2007 as a captain, and has also been the former head coach of the Winnipeg Rifles and is currently the special teams and running backs coach for the Manitoba Bisons. Right now, though, his focus is on Team Manitoba's under-18 squad, which he will lead into battle in a few short weeks. Ryan, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Ryan, let's start with an easy question here. Just describe the selection process for Team Manitoba. What goes into sort of your thought process and the different phases of selecting a team?
For sure. In the past, everyone's kind of done it their own way, especially coaching staff has always kind of their own idea of what they kind of want. I kind of took a mixture of what Team Ontario did when I was out in the OUA and what Team Alberta did when I played with Team Alberta, and kind of tried to condense it down more into smaller, more intense periods and give bigger breaks in between kind of for the coaching staff and the players to be able to regroup. And it's kind of paid off really well, actually. We've had really good numbers. We got some pretty good talent out there right now. And our coaching staff is really happy with where we're at right now as we kind of accelerate now into training camp before we head out to the tournament.
So let's chat a little bit about some of the players who've made it to this phase of the selection process. Obviously, there's studs all across the board, but if you were to sort of pick out any one or two positions, would you say there's anything that really stands out for you just at this point in time?
I think the biggest thing right now is that we're down to 54. You go with the tournament with 40. With 54, 18 of those guys, which is 1/3, are actually grade 10s, which is pretty crazy. It's a benefit and a hindrance a little bit because those guys are younger. They're going to be competing against older guys at the tournament. At the same time, it sets us up well for next year. And honestly, they're just the best guys at their position. So it kind of worked out really, really well. We didn't look at grade or age or anything like that when we were going through the process. It just worked out that way. But I think defensively is going to be kind of our strength. And I think you always have to have that in football. That's one thing I always kind of try to pride myself on, is trying to build a strong defense first, play well on specials, and then let your athletes be athletes on offense. So it's kind of the model we kind of followed with this team, and it's shaping up to be really good.
We've seen in past years players that are underage sort of go into the provincial team program, whether that be the U16 or in this case the U18 program, and excel, sort of like you said. What does that say just sort of about the development of football in this province, that some of those younger kids are able to compete and battle with players that are a couple of years older than they are?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good things going on with football in Manitoba right now. I think the flag football program is really helping a lot. The 7-on-7 stuff helps a lot just because provinces like Alberta and Ontario, they all play spring league football. Us not having that, our guys only get one season a year, which other provinces are playing 2 seasons a year. It's tough. Football's such a repetition game. It's tough to keep up with those guys when they're getting extra season out of it than what we're getting. So I think that's really helped a lot with our guys' development, and I think that's where you're starting to see, especially the skill position, you're starting to see a lot of those young guys be able to excel at a higher level at a younger age just because of that, and they're just getting more reps in the springtime, which is awesome.
In terms of, I just want to pinpoint some of the guys. You've got 7 Canada Football Chat top 100 players on your roster as well. That'd be 2 from grade 12 and 5 from grade 11. I'm sure it helps having some of those guys that are considered top players in Canada also on your roster at this point.
Yeah, the talent level is pretty impressive. I'm going back to one of our earlier practices. Coach Dobie from the Bisons came out, and he came to the practice, and it was his first time out in phase 1. And he just kind of took a little browse around the field and came up to me and grabbed me right away. He's just like, you guys are going to be pretty good. He's like, this is a pretty good group, and it is. And I think a big part of that is the younger kids are really strong. We've had an incredible group of grade 10s that are pushing the grade 11s. And the grade 11s, there's a few guys that have returned from last year's team, like Austin Balan, who have just been unbelievable from the beginning, just great leadership, and they've kind of shown those younger guys a bit of the way. And rather than feeling threatened by those younger guys, they've kind of taken them under the wing and kind of helped push them along, which has been huge for our team, just kind of getting to where we're at right now.
Yeah, Austin Balan's a kid that I've talked to in the past for sure. Very humble, and I'm sure you're definitely grateful to have a guy like that on your roster for sure.
Yeah, he gives you a little bit of everything. He's a quieter guy off the field, but on the field, man, he does not mind talking to kids, getting guys lined up right. He's kind of the quarterback of our defense right now. And we watch in our last phase, we had a couple of live practices or live drills going on, and just watch the game speed that he plays with, and just like, whoa, all right, this kid's on a different level than a lot of people. So it's exciting. It's gonna be fun to watch, as he kind of keeps progressing through training camp, and then hopefully into Calgary.
Recently got his first university offer from the Bisons as well, I believe, so that's really encouraging, and hopefully getting some more. Obviously, Canada Cup is a big place where a lot of players get their first contact with universities from across Canada and sort of start that recruitment process at times, so definitely very exciting.
Yeah, the Canada Cup is incredibly recruited. It's the only event that I know of where all 27 CIS or U sports teams are represented, and not only just represented, usually all their head coaches are there, and multiple coaches from every staff are there. And it's a recruiting blackout period in that time too. So if you're not at the tournament, they can't talk to you as a recruit. So we kind of get the best of all worlds, and there's a ton of coaches there from every school, every conference, and these kids kind of get put under the microscope quite a bit. And for a lot of kids, it ends up being a free education, or at least a partially free education of it, because of the opportunity afforded to them by the Canada Cup, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about the development of the team and getting them to the next level. In the past years, the team has found themselves kind of in the mid-pack as far as their placings go. How does the team basically take themselves to the level of being a perennial contender so that they can challenge for championships year after year?
Yeah, I think one of the obstacles I guess we sort of face in Manitoba with that is our guys are really good in their midget league, or they're really good in the WHSFL. That doesn't always mean you're going to be really good when you play Ontario or Quebec. I mean, there's a lot of good competition out there. So there's a lot of different things that we have to try to do to prepare them for that level, and a lot of it is just the tempo we practice with, doing more competition within the practices to try to get them to elevate their game and kind of put them in uncomfortable situations so they understand how to overcome that. And the very, very first night we met as a U18 team for Phase 1, before we even got on the field, I talked about adversity and what it means to properly react to adversity. And it's a big part of our evaluation hasn't been, okay, well, you got knocked down on this play, you're terrible. It's not that. It's okay, that play went terrible for you. I wonder what your next play is going to look like. And we've really heavily scrutinized what that next play looks like for a lot of guys. We've tried to pick guys that can rebound from that and are able to overcome that adversity, because when we go out there, we play Saskatchewan game 1. And, if things go well in that game, we're going to play probably Ontario in game 2. And we're not going to win every rep. These guys are out there for 60, 70 reps a game. You ain't going to win every one. So, okay, so you lost that one. What's the next one going to look like? Is it going to be worse than the one before? Because if it is, then we can't take you with us on the plane, right? So we're trying to find guys that are resilient, guys that understand the mental toughness it takes to compete in these tournaments, because the competition level is a lot different than what most of these guys are used to.
For sure, and obviously it's tough to replicate that here in the friendly confines of Manitoba. How do you approach the delicate kind of process in approaching an athlete like that, being the fact they're very impressionable at that age, to basically they got to toughen up and move forward with it?
I think you just instill that in them with your coaching staff can do a lot of that, actually. I think just through competition periods in practice, elevating guys to the moment, making them understand what it means to compete, and kind of working them through that process, which we're going to begin now in training camp. We've kind of done it a bit as we've kind of gone through each phase, but we just don't have them long enough to kind of be able to build on that, build on it, and build on it. Now that we're going into training camp starting next week, and we're going to have 10 straight days of practices or whatever it's going to be, we got ample opportunity to kind of put that mindset into them, because it's nothing physical. They all have the physical skills to compete at that level.
Right.
It's just mentally being able to push yourself over those hurdles and be able to become that, be that resilient guy, or be that guy that's willing to, get figuratively punched in the mouth and be able to come back the very next play and come back swinging, right? And literally sometimes, right? So teaching these guys how to react the right way, I think, is a big part of what we're going to have to do as we kind of go forward. And I think that's a big part of our training camp, our overarching philosophy of our training camp that's coming up.
Absolutely. It sounds like you're doing a great job to prepare these young men to be successful at this tournament, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the results will be. Brian, I really appreciate you making some time for us, taking some time out of your Monday evening for the football show with Mike and me, Brad. And I want to thank all of our guests for coming in, and we're going to be back here in 3 weeks' time. That is the 16th of July, where myself and Mike will break down some guests coming from the Rifles football, as well as University of Manitoba, Bisons, and some more amateur football. Thank you so much for joining us, John. Ryan.
No problem.
Carhut. Coach Carhut.
Not a problem at all. It's awesome you guys are doing this. It's great to shine more light on local sports, and especially football, right? It's starting to become a super exciting time of the year right now as everybody's amping up for their seasons, and it's going to be a good year in Manitoba for football.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Quick final thing. Our next broadcast actually is going to be taking place while the Canada Cup is going on.
Yes.
So we'll be able to do some live updates while that stuff is happening.
No pressure.
So stay tuned to that. ManitobaFootballFeed.net will have all those results, as well as the Manitoba Sports Network. So stay tuned for all of that information, and stay tuned for our next broadcast. Thanks for listening. And